Have another sip. Have another sip. You weren't supposed to put the pot.
I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you do, make sure the subscribe button down below before you go. Today we are going to do a Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me questions over on my Instagram. If you're not following me there, you should be. It'll be linked down below and also on the screen here. Let's just start with the questions before you drive me insane. First question is, what are your biggest pet peeves with each other?
It's something you can't help. And
Great.
when she's explaining something in great detail, she says, you know, at the end of every sentence.
Okay, I definitely can't help that.
Or, you know what I mean?
It's a habit. Because I want to make sure that you're understanding, you're on the same page.
Like, I'm
with
staring
me.
at you and you're like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yes, I'm following.
But you're not saying anything. I just want to make sure you're understanding what I'm saying before I move on to the next point. Because with you, if I move on to the next point and you don't understand, you're like, repeat yourself. I don't get it.
Or when I ask you to repeat
Yes,
or when I ask you to repeat that one specific thing and you repeat the entire thing.
I do
And
that.
and it's like, no, it's like, oh, I dropped $1. And it's like, how much did you drop? Oh, I dropped $1. And it's like, I don't need everything. I can just tell me how much did you drop.
Why would I drop $1?
I'm just saying, Joe, like it's a small sentence. Like that's not too big. But there's sometimes where like just paragraphs and like what?
Okay, now you're just attacking me. My biggest pet peeve with you is your anger. Santi's got some frickin' anger issues if you guys didn't know.
That's fair.
He gets mad over everything. I could literally be like, hey, did you change Jackson? He'd be like, yeah, I changed Jackson. Why wouldn't I? And I'm like, I just wanted to know if I needed to change Jackson. Like, relax. How did we meet?
High school.
Grade 9.
Grade 9
I was
English
crying. And he asked if I wanted a hug.
That's not how we met though.
No, we met in, no, but that's how we
You and Alex were fucking laughing up a storm in the back. Honestly thought you were high like first day of high school. Just,
I
like,
didn't even smoke. I just like to have a good time.
yeah, okay.
Mr. Stone didn't care. How many babies do you want? As many as he'll give me.
To be honest, before I met you, I really didn't want kids.
Yeah,
I really didn't want kids. And I don't know. After
that's my biggest flex. Is that he didn't want kids and he didn't want to get married.
yeah, I didn't want to get married. I really didn't. I didn't see the point. I still don't see the point. But
And now-
it makes you happy, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm like forcing you to get married.
You're not forcing me.
I know, but the way you said that, it's
But
funny.
as for kids, like after having shrimp and everything, and then I knew I wanted more after that. Even if that happens,
He's crying. Did I put the binky back or do you want me to put the binky
I'll put
back?
the Mickey back.
Oh my goodness. You want to see this? Sure. Have another sip. Have another sip. You weren't supposed to put the pot. We have an addition because he didn't want to sleep. But the next question is, how many babies do you want? I will take as many as he'll give me. How many siblings do you want?
That's a new one.
He did that all day yesterday.
For me, I would say 3 or 4, absolute maximum.
So then 4?
Absolute maximum.
So then
But
4?
I'm aiming for 2. One more after Jackson, and then that's it.
So 4?
No.
When do we want another one?
I'd probably say sooner rather than later, because the sooner the better.
So right now.
Sure. Honestly, because I want to get out of the diaper stage. I don't want to be in the stage.
It's just so funny because when we first had Jackson, Dante told me he wanted to wait until he was 7 to have another one. And I told him he's insane.
I actually thought about more.
I had to sit down and explain to him and give him all the reasons why like I don't want to wait that long. And like I'm okay with like 2 years old being like a gap. Like I think that's a good age gap. I want them closer together. So like, yeah, we're gonna try for another baby, huh?
It just make it easier, like if, you know.
Also, they're gonna be really close in age.
It's, yeah, closer in age.
So they'll have more to do, and like the big thing for me is that
they'll have a good relationship. Cause I don't have a close relationship with my sisters that close. The one's for good reason, but the other one is like we have a 9-year age gap. So
me and my youngest sister have a 10-year age gap.
So even with us we're getting closer now, but more.
It's hard when they're young.
Yeah.
We would always have to do things that are like age appropriate for the younger one.
Right.
So I would rather just have them in the same age group, that the way they like the same things that we do, and one of them doesn't. Like, we can do things all together instead of you having to do one with the older one and me having to do something with the younger one, or vice versa.
I mean, being the younger one, I do understand how annoying that could have been for her.
I was the older one.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind because I loved hanging out with her and she was like pretty much my own. But it's still.
It'd be nice to get on the same like schedule, I guess. Not schedule, but.
And then we can do things all together and stuff.
Exactly.
I just think the closer, the better. Do we still plan on moving up north? So if you guys have been here since our old channel, where we had a channel together, then you would know that we made a video talking about moving up north. We recently discussed it. Yeah, are you excited? We've recently talked about it like last week or so, and we decided that we are not gonna look for apartments up north, but we are gonna look for a house up there. And we're just gonna stay here until we get the house.
Right.
So before, when we were living at our old place, we were looking for apartments up north. But then with him and the apartment, we just had to leave, and we found this place. Signed a year lease.
It's been almost a year now.
Yeah, but we're gonna look at buying houses. We think it's gonna be easier.
And it's almost that time now where we can buy a house.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the market to not be so crappy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the market. So the next question is, what do we want our lives to look like in 5 years from now? Realistically, I just want to be happy. I just want us to be living the happiest life we can be. I want Dante to be working in programming or...
Yeah, I want my game development journey to actually start.
Look at itch in my throat. I want to be spending as much time as I can with Nuggie and hopefully the next baby. Hopefully it doesn't take 5 years. What do you want specifically?
My programming.
That's it?
To my intel stuff, yeah. I mean, like, everyone says you gotta...
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, Dante programs his own video games. It's pretty cool.
Everyone says you have to get your life together, like, entirely by, like, 20. You know, you have to have your career started or, like you're in school for it. No.
You don't have to.
I disagree entirely. I mean, even if I wait for the next 4 years, Not that long, Daddy.
Sorry, is that funny?
Nothing.
Yes, I am.
Stop
He's
talking.
like, yes.
He's trying to tell me I'm rambling. But if I wait for the next 5 years to do something in careers, and I do like, you know, the typical 30 years that everyone tells you to do, it's not that long. I don't think it's long. I think everyone overhypes it, how you have to have like your career started, you know, your path started, your relationship started, your marriage started, you know, everything by a certain time.
Also, everyone's path looks different.
Right.
Like if it takes me 15 years longer than it took somebody else to do something, then I really don't care. As long as at the end of the day, I made myself happy and I did the things that I loved, then I don't really care. Like I recently went back to school and dropped out because I realized within like a month, and I was doing great. Like I had A's, like 98 I think was like the lowest score I had in any of my things, and I just didn't love it. So I decided that I didn't want to do it, and I just dropped it. And it's just, I spent my whole life thinking that's what I wanted to do. To turn around and find out that I hated it. And the next question is, how do we make our relationship work?
There's definitely at some points where it's very hard, but I feel like you and
Because Dante's selfish.
But I feel like you and I can make it work because we were friends first.
I think so.
We've
too.
never really fought over big things. Like
oh my god, it's always the stupid.
They say that when you
like Dante leaving his damn socks on the floor.
They say when you lose a child, like that's like
It either makes or breaks your relationship.
And it's like 90% of the relationships like don't survive.
Yeah.
And you know, like with
I don't think I could have done it without you.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy. But I think the way I look at it personally, like I can't speak for you, but is if we could get through things like that were that serious and that hard, that there isn't anything that we can't get through.
Exactly.
Which just means it's just about putting in the work. Like if I'm being extra bitchy one day, he picks up the slack and he not necessarily takes it, but like he lets me know that I'm being a bitch. But he's more lenient with me because we're not gonna have days where we're all 100%. But is your sex life like after kids? If anything, it's just more scheduled. Like nothing really changed. But there's obviously like certain times you can't do things where before you can just do it whenever you wanted to.
There's no spontaneousness anymore.
Well, there is sometimes.
Sometimes.
But it's always like you kind of know because it's gonna be either later at night or when he's down for his naps or something like that. But it's never like just in the afternoon he's up. Like it's just, that's the only real difference. Were you nervous to have sex after having Jackson?
Was I or you?
Personally, like no. Only because I had Levi before, but with Levi I was really nervous.
I think I was more nervous than you.
He was really nervous.
More.
But I was only nervous after Levi because obviously it was the first time I'd ever given birth. So I was like, what's going on there? But at the same time, like you're supposed to wait 6 weeks and we didn't. So I was even more nervous about that. Like with Levi, with Jackson, I waited the full 6 weeks. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. But after Jackson, I wasn't really that nervous. And I had an easier healing process with Jackson than I did with Levi.
Right.
The next question is, when did you know you were in love with each other?
September 3rd, 2016.
So we started dating on August 25th.
Because that was just a really, really good day. And like, maybe it was too soon to realize, but like we just had a really, really fun day.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would say,
probably one of my favorite memories.
honestly, I don't know. I don't know when was the moment I sat there and I was like, wow, I love you. Like, do you know what I mean?
You hear this?
Stop.
You hear this?
Stop. Because that whole summer we spent going down, like we called it our spot, and we'd go down and sit by the water. It was like a little beach. And I feel like it just slowly happened. Like I don't think I ever just sat there and was like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't think there was like one big gesture that I was like, holy shit, I love this kid. I think it just slowly happened. You good?
This couch sucks.
I think for me it slowly happened over time of like getting to know you on that kind of level instead of a friend level.
There was no hurrah moment.
How often do you guys fight? At least twice a day. Over dumb stuff.
Again, it's always the dumb stuff. Well, I don't know, twice a day.
9 chances out of 10 on the majority of the weeks, it's probably like twice a day. But it's like dumb petty fights. Like it's not like we get into these big fights. I'd say those happen like maybe once a year. If. Like I don't think we've ever really fought over something big.
No
like,
money, no finances.
No, I feel like we're pretty much on the same page when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's like maybe once a year, but
it's like
even then,
stupid stuff like you did this. No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
It's
What's
more
with the
attitude. Yeah, it's more of our attitude.
Yeah,
his anger, that's another one too, it's his anger. Do you plan on going back to work after your maternity leave? Yes.
I would like her to stay home. Like if there was some way I could make it work with one income, I would prefer her staying home. I don't want anyone raising the baby rather than
No, we're gonna have to make it work where one of us, but then we're never gonna see each other. We're gonna have to figure it out, but the plan
I'd rather
is
that than have someone else babysit.
Me too, absolutely. I don't want anyone else.
Like we're gonna see each other at
raising
some
our
point
kids.
eventually. Right?
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people who do use daycares. It's just a personal decision for me that I don't want anyone. Like I personally don't trust anyone. I mean, aside from family, like, I'd be okay if family watched them and stuff. But I'm talking more like hiring a babysitter specifically just so we can go to work.
That comes in like once a day.
Yeah, like I don't like that. What is the baby doing? How are you? I think he's good. How are you? See, I went to pumpkin patch today. You did? You rode a pony? He's doing really good. He's growing really well and...
He's still very short, but I mean like,
He's very happy.
Very short people. So.
He is a phenomenal baby.
Yeah,
He barely cries. He has 6 teeth.
He's always really happy.
He eats everything. Always giggling. Although, the last 2 days he doesn't like to nap.
And he screams sometimes.
Just, yeah, not even because he's cranky, just because.
Just because he wants to.
But I think that's him like finding his voice and just like
Right.
whatever else. So I'm not
that big.
too concerned about it. Last question is, do you have a preferred gender for the next baby?
Yes.
I don't care. He wanted a girl with Levi. He wanted a girl with Jackson. He swore up and down they were girls. And I was like, no, it's a boy. Although I don't think we're gonna find out the gender until birth next time. He wants to know
Killing
so
me.
bad. I told him I didn't want to know with Jackson, but he did. And then because of everything with Levi, I let him find out with, like, we found out with Jackson. But I didn't want to know. So he promised me that the next one we wouldn't find out, but I might leave it up to my TikTok. I might leave it up to them and see if we find out or not. So you should follow me over there.
You should let them choose, not me.
Yeah, because you already made me promise that we wouldn't find out. So either we don't find out or TikTok gives you the chance to find out.
I need TikTok's help.
You have to go follow me on TikTok so you can help Dante out when the time comes. He wants to know so bad.
I need to know whether or not it's gonna be a little girl or not.
What if it's a boy?
That's fine.
Are we gonna have another one?
We'll see. That's a discussion for another day.
Uterus. We need boys in this office. Although I don't know if I could handle being outnumbered by a 3rd boy. Actually, I'd love that. Boys just put a hole in the wall, and I love being a boy mom. So that's all the questions we have today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Or if it's not Monday, Monday to Friday. Bye! Bye.